So it has now been confirmed that food stamps will not be continuing into November with the government shutdown continuing, which means that millions and millions of people who rely on food stamps for food for themselves, their families, their children will now be going without.
Listen, I want to understand, MAGA, are y'all winning yet? Are y'all winning? Because the majority of you that voted for syphilitic Sid are the people that received most of these benefits. Now, this man done lied to y'all and told y'all that it was undocumented and illegals that were getting these benefits. But we about to find out who really getting these benefits, because y'all ain't getting no turkey. Y'all ain't getting no ham. Y'all, Meemaw ain't gonna have no butter rolls, nothing, because y'all ain't gonna have nothing. The USDA has said that if the government does not open up because of this shutdown, there will be no more funds. No more federal funds for any of these benefits. So I just want to understand. I want to run it back. Just bear with me for a moment. I want to run it back. So let me get this straight. Y'all voted for this fool. And now your SNAP benefits ain't benefiting. Your Medicaid ain't Medicading. Right? These tariffs ain't tariffing the way he said they was going to tariff. But y'all still over here. The only thing that y'all can point to is the deportations. So while you over here giddy about a 13-year-old being deported to some unknown country, y'all about to not have no Thanksgiving. You might not have anything for Christmas either. I just want one of y'all to step to the front and make it make sense. Make it make sense. Cause, again, y'all ain't about to have no holidays, but y'all worried because he done convinced y'all that an undocumented person gets $1 more than you do. I have no words for y'all. Good luck. Because again, the farmers ain't farming. The tariffs ain't tariffing. The SNAP benefits ain't benefiting. And the Medicaid ain't Medicading. Okay. Good luck.
Greetings, my lovely people, and welcome back to my channel. So millions of Americans are about to go hungry as the Trump administration just halted the food benefits program starting November 1st. And this is a program that fed over 40 million Americans, every month. And it's not just the poor or unemployed. It was feeding the working families, children, the disabled, and seniors who depended on SNAP just to survive. So many people are so worried and they're asking, how are we going to feed our families? This was the only hope that we had. So let's get to see the reactions, then we come back with commentary.
So it's make Argentina great again. It's make Israel better. It's anything but America first. And now he's going to take away food stamps the whole month of November. And let me tell you what, 1 out of every 5 people that are on food stamps are veterans. They have fought for this country, and President Trump is punishing poor people for the No Kings rally. That's what he's doing. See, President Trump doesn't want to be president anymore. He wants to be the king. He's already established everything that he has to do. And look, you've seen what them young Republicans were writing, and you've seen that guy come out and say, well, this is just what all Republicans do and say behind the scenes. It's no big deal. This is how we all feel. They're all racist, male chauvinist, pedophiles, and now they want us to accept that. Look, President Trump's ratings are dropping like the rent on a burning building. He doesn't care that you don't agree with what he's doing. He's just going to start punishing the poorest of us all. And that's making America great.
There will be no food stamps benefits issued for November 1st. So that means you're not going to have no money on your card to get food. All right. And what happens in November? Thanksgiving. Okay. There's people who need this that are struggling to feed their families because of the shape that the country's in, because groceries are so expensive, right? But now they're not going to get this money that they were expecting. And you know what? The money that they got last month probably wasn't enough to hold them over for the whole month. So they're waiting for November 1st to come so that they can buy their groceries, right? They're waiting. They're eating whatever's left in their house and waiting for November 1st to buy their groceries. But 80% of the people on food stamps are in those red states that voted for that guy. 80% of you voted for him. And he said he was going to do this, Project 2025. Let's get rid of those democratic programs that he hates so much that you guys were benefiting, right? And now you're not going to have any money to buy food in November. Think about your choices next time. Think about how much you hate someone for being a different religion or a different race. This is what people were standing on, immigration, right? Immigration. And I don't want them to get health insurance and I don't want them to get food stamps. They weren't getting it, but they were contributing to it, right? They were working here and contributing into the Medicaid and the food stamps that you were getting that they weren't eligible for. And now they're being taken away from you. You see how that works? You see how the universe works? Maybe you'll make a better decision next time. Ya tú sabes.
Trump publicly stated, those of you who have not accepted his fascist regime, he wants you to suffer. Therefore, they are prepared November 1st to cut SNAP benefits and Medicaid, which will leave millions of children without food. They also want to push you into these streets, not just for protests. They want you to riot, to steal food, because then Trump the chump can create a situation where martial law is necessary, because that's what he wants. And what is going to happen when people can't eat? Violence increases, because you're not going to tell anybody that they can't eat and they got to walk past a grocery store that's full of food. This is the game they're playing. This is the time where the community must come together. Ain't nobody gonna tell me that our children are gonna go hungry, that our elders are gonna go hungry. That's not going to happen, because we as a community are going to stop funding our demise. The 1% that is running this country right now understands only one thing: greed. Stop spending your money. If you're going to spend money within your community. We need to check in on our neighbors. We need to check in on our elderly. We need to start donating food, real food, to food banks. This does not mean going in your cupboard and taking out all the stuff you don't want. When you donate to a food bank, they need what you need. Think about what's on your grocery list. There are many directories online to find a food bank near you. All you have to do is decide to fight for yourself and your community. Understand that this moment you have got to sacrifice something. It's not going to be comfortable. A fascist regime is trying to take over your life. They're trying to dictate who survives this. We need to take care of each other. That's the solution, because this current government is not your government. They don't work for you. They work for Trump, the chump, and his oligarchs. I want you to know we're going to be all right. We know what it is to suffer. We know what it is to fight. And for those of you who don't think you are ready for this moment, yes, you are, because you have to be. Remember that, and you will always have enough courage to fight back.
The USDA is now warning that because of the government shutdowns, there may not be food stamps for November. If the government shutdown continues, this will definitely depend on state. There may not be funds deposited into people's accounts for November. And I just want to remind everybody that the government is shut down because Republicans refuse to give healthcare to millions of Americans, while fully funding free healthcare for everyone in Israel. Also, they just sent $60 billion to Venezuela. But you can't have food and healthcare. No, you're American. Die. Your government fucking hates you. Just go die in a hole. Republicans are literally willing to starve Americans in order to funnel more money to corporations and the military-industrial complex in other fucking countries. You know, the government's whole job is just to take care of its fucking citizens, right?
So here is the irony. 80% of those on food stamps, they live in red states, that is Trump states. The very people who believed that he would fight for them are not the ones that are going to suffer the most. And Trump promised to lower the groceries, and yet the prices keep climbing every day. He promised to protect the American families, and yet now he's now pulling the plug on the one thing that's keeping many of them alive.
Listen, if they really cut off food stamps for November, y'all better go into the HR office and turn your taxes off. We should not be paying taxes if they're not going to help the American people. If my grandma don't get her Social Security, what the fuck make you think I'm gonna pay taxes for? Huh? If my community members who need food stamps can't get it, I'm not paying no taxes, bitch. I'm not paying a motherfucking thing. Cause what you doing with my money? What you doing with my money? Cause you don't know how to use it right. So I'm gonna take it back. Since you don't know how to use it right, I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back.
Well, y'all, the orange man done did it. He done did it. So the federal government just told the states to withhold the national SNAP benefits for November. And let me make something perfectly clear. Stopping Medicaid and food supplement, nutritional supplement, SNAP benefits right before the holiday season is 1,000% intentional. 1,000%. So that means it is either going to be epically late as a part of collective punishment, and they announced it right before No King's Day on the 18th, because there's supposed to be a huge march going on the 18th, just as a warning to everybody. They announced it on the 18th, or they announced it the day before the 18th, or a couple days before the 18th, that there's a huge possibility that there will not be any SNAP benefits for November or December, or it'll be epically late with no, I'm guessing, no rollback or no back amount. I'm guessing, that's not confirmed. Military healthcare has been down all day, and they don't know when it'll be back up. They don't have any answers, and they can't tell them why it was down. Medicaid was down all day. All of this very much provincial, because they just sent $40 billion over to Argentina. And they sent hundreds of $millions overseas to Israel. All of y'all money, they sent it over to all these other countries and told you to starve for November. You can starve, bitch. You can starve, is what they said. This holiday season finna be a doozy. I'm interested to see how the white folks act, though, because y'all know they the biggest recipients of welfare. I'm interested to see how they react. I knew it was bad when me and MAGA started agreeing on certain shit. Hear me out. Not on the same things, but the common enemy. When we both started agreeing on a common enemy, that's when I said, oh, this is bad.
No food stamps November. Yep. The unbelievable prick in office has declared no food stamps will be paid out in the month of November. I am just so proud to be an American right now. I mean, I just can't even begin to tell you that. I mean, what kind of a douchebag move to continue to just punish the most weak and vulnerable of our country, just to feel like a man, like a big man, like he actually is doing something. You know, the only good thing about this is that roughly 70% of those people that are going to miss out on those benefits voted for the man. Ironic, isn't it? karma's a bitch. Let's get those files and get this administration out of here. My name's Damien, and I'm for democracy.
Now, why the fuck I just wake up and I see that they talking about, oh, people not getting they SNAP benefits in the month of November. I know, like, fuck, y'all ain't take my mama food stamps in the month of Thanksgiving. Are you fucking serious? Are we finna riot or what? Because this is taking it too far. It's already been too far, but they have taken it to hell. We're not going to eat. I'd be damned if I pay for a motherfucking turkey with my own motherfucking money. I know my mama better get her stamps on the 15th. If y'all need her name and her number, all of that, I'm telling you, let them stamps not be there. I'm organizing a riot in every city. I'm not playing. And I'm releasing the Epstein files. How about that? Ain't no fucking way. Why would you take food stamps? I'm pissed off.
And now with the government shutdown ongoing, it is chaos. Our grocery prices are rising. Our wages are low. Millions of Americans simply cannot afford to live. And we have seen so many videos, people ranting on social media, crying about the cost of living, which has become unaffordable in America at the moment. And many people are even asking, how did America get here, you know? How can a person who claims to love his people turn his back on them in their time of need? And mothers are even wondering what they are going to feed their children. Disabled veterans are now forced to choose between medicine and meals. I mean, the situation is very bad in America, you know, and the leaders are not seeing it. Many people have started regretting why they voted for Donald Trump because he's not easing the cost of living, you know. In fact, he's adding more pain to Americans. The working families who once believed in the promise of American great again are now learning that it was just a dream, you know. It's easy to talk about make America great again, but what greatness is, letting your own citizens starve. And this should be a wake-up call, you know. It should be a moment of reflection for every American, whether red state or even blue state, because hunger doesn't ask who you voted for. It just asks if you have food on the table. So people should just learn that choices have consequences. How you vote the leader you decide to put in office is going to determine how the cost of living will be, you know, how the overall life is going to be. And even as winter approaches, millions of Americans will soon realize that politics won't keep them warm, you know. The promises of Make America Great Again will not fill their stomachs. So this is a painful reality that many people are coming to see, and it's just the beginning. So thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.